Hello, Merry Meet. So again, please excuse my attire. Like I said in my last video, I am waiting for my hair to dry, and yeah, I'm sort of just stuck sitting in here while waiting, because my hair is very long, and when it's wet, it gets everywhere. So, since I felt like I might as well use the time while waiting, because I don't blow dry my hair, I might as well make a video where I sit dressed in nothing but a towel. So if you have a problem with a fat girl in a towel, find another video to watch. So yeah, what I want to do for this video is a book review. And this review is of Witch's Craft, a multidimensional Wicca Bible by Bruce K. Wilborn. Now, what this is, it's beginner's book to Wicca kind of book. I hadn't really heard anything about this volume when I bought it. It was sort of an impulse buy. Yes, just my camera a bit. And I have a bit mixed feelings about it. The book is fairly thick. It has, let us see, 445 pages, including the index, and so there's a lot of information in here, and it has all of the things that you might expect. It has rituals, it has sabbats, it has all of those kinds of things, and it's an okay starter guide, but it also gets a bit preachy. For example, in the chapter on consecration, it says you have to consecrate everything. And I certainly think that consecration adds to a ritual too. But when my hackles sort of go up when an author goes, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, this is my right way, everything else is wrong. It's a very big difference between saying, this is what works for me, this is what I recommend, and saying, this is what you have to do, if you don't do it my way, it's wrong. And, well, I have been called being too much of a every opinion is equal kind of person, a bit too hippie and that, and maybe I am, but I sort of feel that in a field like the occult, we don't know completely. So that it's sort of arrogant to assume that your way is the only right way for everyone. So yeah. So the good points about this book is that it is pretty big. It gives a lot of information. So you have a lot to start with here. The bad things is that, like I said, it's preachy, and I don't like that. Now, let's have a look at the contents, because that's always useful. So we have acknowledgements and a preface, as normal, and we have the various chapters. We have fundamentals, which has history, philosophy, deities, otherworldly beings, tradition, structure and offices, tools of witchcraft and altars. Pretty self-explanatory chapters there. And you have rituals, you have the magic circle, invoking the gods, declarations, consecration, Wiccan chants, great rite, aspats, first degree initiation, second degree initiation, third degree initiation, hand fasting, hand parting, awakening and funerals. What I really do like about this is that it, among other things, have hand partings. One of the things I really find interesting about hand fastings and the way pagans very often choose to marry is that very many choose the wording, and as long as love lasts. And I think that that's a very honest way of doing it, because that you don't have a guarantee when you get married that you will love this one person for the rest of your life. And then sort of you either get stuck in the situation that you have to break a promise that you have done before your deities and divorce if you don't no longer love one another, or you have to stay together in an unhappy marriage, and none of those are desirable outcomes. By instead saying, we promise to stay together and be married as long as both of us love one another, that's, to me, is more honest. And I really like that the book have included rituals for hand parting, basically how to dissolve such a partnership in a good way that breaks your ties to one another and does it in a respectful manner. And also it has a chapter on pagan funerals, which is very good. So basically here you have all the rituals that you might need for your life. As for initiations, I don't know. I think the book is trying to go for a more traditional Wiccan feel to it, but it isn't succeeding completely in that. But I wouldn't base my entire craft and initiation on this book, but it's okay that they're in there. I mean, more information is good. Then we have the grimoire part, which has runes, symbols and rituals, botanicals, divination and magic, which is basically a standard fare in these kinds of books, but it's a pretty good section. Then we have seasonal rites, which has sabbats, Candlemas, spring equinox, Beltane, summer solstice, Lugnasa, autumn equinox, Samhain and winter solstice. So you have all you need of those rituals. As for whatever or not this is coven based or solitary, I think it can be used for both. It is basically, it works for both solitary pagans and those that are in covens. So that's a good point. And you have appendixes, you have endnotes, glossary, bibliography and index. So it's a good sized book. You have basically all the information you need to start here. Now, would I recommend this book to start with? I think I would recommend getting a few other books first, like for example Scott Cunningham's Wicca Guide to the Solitary Practitioner, the Big Blue Book by Ray Buckland, a few of those more established books. But once you have read those, I think that you can benefit from this book because there's a lot of good information here. So yeah, at the back of the book is just here. It has a little blurb about the book. I really like the design of it. It looks pink on the camera, but it's more like a purple in real life, with these little decorations on top and simply drawn pentagram. I think it's a handsome looking book. The design on the sides are very simple, and all in all, yeah, I think this is a good book. For example, for the various rituals, we have all from how to decorate for the ritual to how to do it. Yeah, I should also mention that the book itself is comfortable to read. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but it's not that harsh black ink that's often in various books. It's more like the paper is a very pale grey, and it's a more soft dark grey. It definitely has enough contrast for your eyes to follow, but at the same time it isn't harshly glaring at you, which can be annoying if you read for a long time. So yeah, I don't know exactly how much more I can say about this book. It's a decent beginner book. It is Wicca, but it's Wicca with a bit of a twist, but not so much that you couldn't recognize it. It has everything you need to start practicing Wicca, though I do recommend starting with a few more better known books, such as Raymond's Big Blue Book and so on first. But all in all, you could pick up this book, follow its instructions and become a pretty good Wiccan. So yeah, it has both the spiritual and religious parts and the magic parts covered. It's comfortable to read. It's a bit too preachy, but other than that, I think it's a decent book. It like when somebody gets a bit preachy, sometimes it means that their information isn't always perfect, and there are some sections there where I would compare this with other books I have, because sometimes when an author thinks they know better than everybody else, they have a tendency to overestimate their own knowledge or present their own personal views as absolute fact. So, like with all books, I would definitely measure this information up against the information found in other sources. Other than that, I think it's a decent book. It has been mostly overlooked. I just found it on Amazon by accident, and I'm pretty glad I picked it up. So I'll give this book 6 out of 10. It's a decent read, there's good information in here. And that's my review of A Multidimensional Wicca Bible, Witch's Craft by Bruce K. Wilborn. And the publisher is SP, I'm not, Skyhorse, is it? Skyhorse Publishing. See, there's the mark. So yeah, it's a good book. And while it's not the best such beginner book you can find, it's pretty decent. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day, a happy Easter, a good Ostara, and blessed be.